The Square Ball Podcast.
It's the weekly show brought to you in association with Levi Solicitors. I'll look at you, Michael. If you're on the video version, you'll see me side-eyeing Michael here.
You'd be right to look at me.
Why is that?
Because I'd know all about legal services.
Tell me at least 3 of your favourite legal services and don't choose the ones everyone's expecting. I've told you, you need to reinvent your act. Told you this.
Right.
It's the difficult second album, this, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly how I build it, yeah. Stop. Why are you Googling now? You knew hours ago.
I'm not Googling it, I'm looking at something else.
You knew how are you looking at?
What's it on Marco you're looking at?
MySpace.
Right, okay.
Just on MySpace. But they do lasting powers of attorney, employment law, residential property disputes, personal dispute resolution, professional negligence, to name but a few.
Yeah. Right. And
personal injury.
Will's probate conveyancing.
And Will's probate conveyancing, yeah, they still do them.
Yeah. 10% discount on your legal fees. LeviSolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. You're gonna have to up your game, I feel like, with Levi's. It's, we've got other sponsors on board on other shows now.
Just listed everything they do there.
Yeah, is that all, everything, a comprehensive list of services?
Well, from the For You section I have in my head.
What's your favourite?
Well, everyone knows what it is.
Yeah.
Will's probate conveyancing. I'm saved them for the encore, probably.
What is it that you like about the Will's service that Levi's do?
Or just getting it all nice and tidied up for when I'm all lovely and dead.
Yeah. LeviSolicitors.co.uk/the square ball for your 10% discount on your legal fees. Right, so, I mean, it's now 11 o'clock on Thursday morning. This is likely to come out on Friday. That's hours away.
Yeah.
It's fun, isn't it? Should we see how out of date we can make it? Should we get angry at things that haven't happened yet?
Why have we loaned Sinistera to, I don't know.
Palace.
Yeah. Why has he gone there?
I don't know.
Stupid one. I can't believe we sold Nonto as well.
Yeah, that came as a shock.
£8 million to Everton in the end, it was.
Yeah. Desperate for cash, aren't
Absolute pile of shit.
Yeah. What we do know is we've got Jed Spence or Jed Spencer or Died Spence, depending on which website article you look at on the official site. So there's that.
I think the club tried the best with that.
Oh, God. What a warm welcome.
Died Spence.
Died Spence.
That was 2 separate articles, wasn't it? Was it Leeds announced Died Spence, and then the interview with him was Jed Spencer, I can't wait to play at Ellen Road.
You can see there's clearly a couple of autocorrect things have gone on there, but just check.
Yeah.
I mean, we all make mistakes, so it's fine. Did you enjoy the 10 facts about Jed Spencer, Died Spence, that was run by the club? That was good.
The Whitney Houston shares a birthday. I mean, that was dynamite, that information.
Yeah. Did you know that before?
Yeah, obviously I knew it before.
Yeah.
I check every new signing against Whitney Houston's birthday.
Yeah.
Just on the off chance.
Yeah.
I was punching the air yesterday. I was like, I don't even care if he's any good.
So if you don't check, how will I know?
What's that, sir?
If you don't check, how will I know?
Oh, that's very good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It wasn't really good. Yeah, I had to say it twice.
Say it again. What was that?
He's referencing.
I'm referencing Whitney Houston songs.
No, I do love these 10 facts articles. They put them out for every new signing, and I always end up including them in the daily email because they're usually full of gold. It's usually how tall they are in centimetres and then feet and inches, when the birthday is.
Well, how tall?
How tall is Jed Spencer or Died Spence? Where is he? Look, have they mentioned it? Oh, he's 1.84 metres tall, which equates
What's
to
that
6
in
foot.
What's that in centimetres?
That'd be 184 centimetres.
Thanks, Rob.
But yeah, they told us Joe Roden, he shares the birthday with Shaggy. And Joel Pirro, they just slipped in there that he started out playing as a left back, which I think they might be trying to tell us something there.
Yeah. Signed a left back, screamed everyone. We have done.
We've got
their
one.
response.
Gillian Anderson, also 9th of August.
Is that right?
I'd have probably gone with that over Anna Kendrick, but that probably is just showing my age.
The 4th and final series of Sex Education is coming out on Netflix
I've
soon.
seen that, actually.
It's very good.
Oh, good.
I do enjoy. Well, that's exciting, isn't it? We've got Jed Spencer, Died Spence.
Good player, isn't he?
He is a very good player. Never wanted Max Aarons, did we?
Not really.
No.
Well, given the choice at the time, I know this is different because it's a loan and stuff. Would you have chosen Spence over him? Maybe. Or would Aarons have got the nod because of the Farker link and he knows him and all that sort of stuff? But they seem roughly comparable in terms of
Like age and style.
age and style, yeah,
Yeah.
and overall quality, I suppose.
He does have the added bonus of having slagged off Neil Warnock in the past as well.
You beat me to exactly what I was going to
There
say
you
next. There's an added plus in the plus column, isn't there? Hates Neil Warnock, so good.
I feel like this side, well, assuming we can actually keep some of the players, this must be the fastest side we've ever had in the Championship. Because Spencer's quick, and then you've got like Somerville, Nonto,
Dan James.
They're like, for so many years, if you think back to the game where we opened the season against Brighton and we had a midfield of like Luke Murphy and Varney and Green, and then like even like Becchio and McCormack, who were good players, but both of them really pretty slow.
Yeah.
But there's so much speed in this team now.
You're just forgetting Billy Painter, though, aren't you?
Lining.
Although Joel Pirro, not necessarily very fast, but he has gravitas and presence.
Not everyone has to be fast.
No, he can stand. He's the link man, isn't he? He's the hub of this particular operation now.
But having some fast players is a bonus, I would say.
I think at fullback as well, Ayling, there is a obvious upgrade in pace there, I would say, given that a lot of this season has just been watching him run back at a very, very slow pace.
He seems to still be able to run forwards at an all right pace, does Ayling, but then when the play turns and he just looks behind him, he's like, you can feel the breath, can't you, as he turns and sees it.
I mean, I know you always have knackered knees and stuff. Have you ever tried to take up running?
Yeah, I occasionally try it now and then.
It's a bit like that. It's one of those
things. I might be good at it, but I'm not.
You set off like out of the house down the road, and you go, I can do this, and you get a couple of streets when you're I'm knackered, then you're going to walk back. I think that's what Luke Ayling's done.
Just like a sweaty man out for a walk.
Yeah, man in his 30s, not fancying it anymore. Got some facts. Johnny Cooper from Opta at JRCooper26 has been sending. He always generates brilliant facts, does Johnny, about Leeds. He normally sends them through for the show we did with Phil Hay. But he sent them through this morning, so I'll share the facts going into the Wednesday game as we go across the show, if you like. Joel Pirro is looking to become only the second Leeds player this century to score in his first 2 league appearances after.
Ooh. Did Hasselbank do it?
This century.
Oh, this century, sorry.
Yeah.
Not within the last century.
Or this millennium, whichever way you want to look at it.
First 2 league appearances.
Do you want a clue? I'll give you a clue. Happened in January 2007. The Halcyon days.
That's a relegation season, right?
Yeah.
Can't be Trezor Candle, can it?
Like,
No, do you want me to see? It's not.
Is it Jeff Horsfield? Or
No.
something?
Similar ilk, though. Left-footed, heavily left-footed.
Blanked a lot of that out.
Celtic.
Ah, Thompson.
Yeah, Alan Thompson.
Did he really?
Scored versus West Brom and Hull, both free kicks. Yeah.
Oh, well, that ended well.
Bodes well.
Yeah, so there's some good stats. I'll drop.
Who was the
these
other
as we
one?
go.
Sorry? You said there were 2 players. No?
No, this is
Pirro
he'll
if
be
he scores.
the second.
Oh, he'll be the second.
Joel
sorry.
Pirro.
Joel Pirro's the second.
If he does it, yeah. If he does score against Sheffield Wednesday, which of course he will.
I mean, he should.
Yeah.
Not to put pressure on him, but he should be scoring in every game.
Here's this for a segue. Speaking of Celtic midfielders, Matt O'Reilly's been linked. Kenny McLean, Luke Thomas. He's now gone to Sheffield Wednesday, hasn't he, as Luke Thomas? So,
Yeah, I did this.
Sheffield United.
Same thing.
I did this prep sheet about. Well, I was looking at it still about 11 o'clock last night, and then half of it's out of date already this morning.
It's funny that my brain saw red and white stripes then, but I still said Sheffield Wednesday.
Like you said, they're all the same.
Yeah.
I think Kenny McLean, he just sounds like too much of a Norwich player. I think he's just got to stay there.
It sounds like a country singer to me, country and western.
Matt O'Reilly's confusing too, because Cold O'Reilly plays for Celtic, but he's English-Danish.
All right, there you go.
That's not right, is it?
No, and Pencil as well. So this one is almost impossible to follow because we, according to what Phil said anyway, on yesterday, was it? When did we speak to Phil? Yesterday. That one kind of gone cold. Then we saw links to him in Southampton, and Phil mentioned there was some sort of dispute about loyalty bonus payment terms between him and Genk. Because incredibly, footballers who leave, who don't request a transfer, get loyalty payments when they leave, don't they?
Yes.
From clubs, which is wild.
Yeah, unless you put in your transfer request,
Yeah.
which is when you kind of forfeit them generally, isn't it?
Yeah. So there were heavy links towards Southampton. That one collapsed late last night, and he seems destined to make some sort of move. England, his favoured destination. Of all places, Burnley. Yeah.
I suppose that's one club that probably won't be signing Sinistera, at least.
Yeah. What else have we got then? So we've got Glenn Kamara, who's presumably walking from Glasgow.
Just sign the poor man.
I know.
There've been some rumours that he's been in Leeds since the start of the week, and for whatever reason, we've just not got it done yet.
We've been linked to him all summer, haven't we? Which does make you think, It's like he's been waiting for us to sign him all summer, which does make you worry that they don't really want him or they think they can get someone better. But it just feels like we're going to end up signing him.
We've friend-zoned him.
Imagine if we had brought him to Leeds on Monday and he's just been sat in the travel lodge at Wetherby.
Just seeing other players come and go.
Yeah, your medicals tomorrow, Glenn. We'll come and pick you up. Oh, sorry, no taxis available. We'll do it day after. That kind of thing.
It feels like we inevitably will sign him just because it's been there for so long, and it seems like he's the one player as well where it's said he's keen, they've agreed fees, it can all be done, whereas other ones you've kind of gone, oh, there's a bit of a wrinkle over this, or the player's not sure, as the case with the Amiri, but he, for weeks now, has been, he wants to come, Leeds can pay it, no disagreement on personal terms, but it still hasn't happened.
The whole thing with Amiri was so funny, wasn't it?
What a dithering bastard, honestly.
I mean, as Phil billed it on that show that we did, he was sort of saying like he was never quite convinced by dropping to the Championship. Maybe he said, we'll do a year or whatever. Felt like we were never his first choice in that regard. But then to make him fly home when additional demands were made, we don't know what those demands were. Should we speculate wildly what they were?
I mean, I really hope that we just brought him over to just time to fuck off again for just wasting our time. And so,
went to the expense of booking a private jet just to
make him buy his own on the way back.
Why do footballers need private jets? It'd be funny. The flight from Leverkusen, Northern Germany, that's going to be what, an hour and a half?
Are you saying we stick him on EasyJet or whatever?
Fuck him. Stick him on a normal plane. He's not going to feel cooped up for an hour and a half, is he?
I think it's less about that.
Get him on the Ryanair.
It's more about, I flew Ryanair back from Dublin. It's only 35 minutes.
I bet it was fine, wasn't it? 'Cause it was half an hour.
Yeah.
Whatever.
35 minutes back from taking off to touchdown when I went to Dublin. That was good. Yeah. It's just about expectation, isn't it? I think it's what footballers do. It's what happens in that world.
Ryanair, you don't sign. That's what I'm saying.
You don't get a release clause and you've got to fly Ryanair.
Glenn Kamara's on a megabus.
Yeah, it's about
probably why it's taking so long,
etc. Yeah, it's just about the expectations that are set within the industry, aren't they? So if one club is prepared to send a private jet for you, then if the other one isn't, then you're going to go, well, I'm not bothered about them. They don't care about me enough.
Babies.
Yeah, well, they are, aren't they, in many ways?
Yeah, we still don't fully know what happened with him, do we? I mean, there was the rumours that he just took a look at Leeds and went, ugh. But he's from, Leverkusen's not a nice place, I don't think, is it? It's like a big pharmaceutical company, the whole town, is how I imagine.
So you basically say like, a bit like Middlesbrough.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Fine.
That's chemicals, isn't it? Not pharmaceuticals.
But they all have that. I'm just thinking big grey tanks.
But what, I don't know. I don't know exactly how you make drugs, but it's probably with chemicals.
That's not what you told me. Not your garage.
I've got the RV, haven't I?
Yeah. Like Breaking Bad in Ponty. Yeah, for just a funny one, that wasn't it? It got dragged on for so long, and it was Willie won't he. It never quite felt like it was going to get over the line, did it? I think, and making him pay for his own flight home, based on what Phil said, additional demands, just makes me laugh. Like, nah, bollocks to you.
But we've probably already got like Sinisterra and Nonto who don't really want to be here, so let's not add another.
No. What about Ilya Gruev, 23-year-old Bulgarian midfielder from Werder Bremen?
Yeah, I'd have him.
Do you want him?
Yeah.
What?
You're an expert on him, aren't you?
Have you scouted him? Have you used Y-Scout? When I say Y-Scout, I mean the one beginning with Y, YouTube.
Yep, use that. It's quite a dull compilation, actually, for YouTube, because he's not really a goal scorer or creator. He's like, his YouTube's a lot of him just playing short passes.
Right.
But, he's a midfielder, isn't he?
Is he the Bulgarian Mark Rocker?
No, he looks more.
Or can he run?
Deep lying and defensive than that, I would say, from the bits I've seen.
We were basically saying before the Salford game that we need to sign a midfielder just to sacrifice and take the injuries for Archie Gray, basically.
Yeah.
That's all we need, so whatever. And
he looks, from the admittedly very limited amount I've seen of him from YouTube, he looks more like he would be a kind of Ampadu cover, which we don't actually have. If Ampadu's out, who plays there now, other than, I guess, Jamie Shack, because he just plays wherever. But it doesn't feel like we have direct cover for Ampadu, and he's quite important with how we play now. So
good fact from Johnny on this, which goes to show the shape of the squad, the lack of experience when it comes to cover. The starting 11 against Salford was Leeds' youngest at 22 years and 154 days in a League Cup tie since 1967, and the second youngest fielded in a game this century. just 3 days on average older than the 11 against QPR in the FA Cup in 2019. So it's a League Cup game. You always do put your youth in, don't you? You make changes, rotate, play the squad and all that, but there's not a right lot of depth there, is there?
It did feel a bit like watching, what's it called now, the Johnston's Paint, the Checker Trade Trophy or whatever. It felt like watching one of those fixtures when Leeds were in the Premier League. But yeah, the fact that Farke doesn't really seem to fancy JB and Bate, it's like, ooh, we do desperately need some people there.
Yeah, I think sometimes you do forget how young our experienced players are, don't you? People like Strauch and I know he played, but like Dan James and Sinistera, they're still all pretty young still.
The right side of 26 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So last time, a 23-year-old Bulgarian. But he's played for Bulgaria. He seemed to have played quite a lot of games in the Bundesliga last year, admittedly not full games, but...
It's interesting to see Farke's input into the transfers here. He's clearly having an influence on the players that they're looking at, because the number that are coming from Bundesliga clubs or being linked from Bundesliga clubs is quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed to do some quite astute business at Norwich for some players they signed to get him up. So, and 4 million doesn't seem like a huge amount.
I was going to say with Spence, that seems like a Steinson signing as well, because I was reading about when he went to Tottenham and Steinson had just been appointed there and he'd been following him at Everton and then got him for Spurs, and Antonio Conte was like, don't really know who this guy is, the club have signed him, I'm sure I'll be fine. It was a bit of a Jack Clark signing.
I mean, if he signs for us permanently, fine, assuming he's all right. Some players going out. Sam Greenwood going on loan to Middlesbrough for the season.
Yeah, a bit surprising that.
Yeah, given the lack of depth, I think, yeah. I was going to say, Rob, what do you think we need to do in terms of the midfield as well? Like, how many do you think we'll bring 3 in?
I'd like 2 and a left back, but we're just never going to sign a left back, are we, ever again? So I think at least a couple would be helpful. But I'm interested with Greenwood, what Middlesbrough are going to do with him. Like, where are they going to play him? Because he's played in so many different positions for Leeds now. I really don't know what he's meant to be anymore, other than he comes on and takes set pieces.
Yeah.
Maybe that's all they need.
I saw somebody describe him to me as the Aldi Midlisle version of James Ward-Prowse. Just minus the goals, bless him.
Nearly did it, didn't he? Very nearly did.
He did. Yeah, Lewis O'Brien seems to be... Is he on his way to Borough, potentially?
Yeah, he's going there too.
Right.
Play alongside Sam. So, I mean, I suppose he's a bit like when, what's his name, Kent finally joined someone, you think, at least someone can stop talking about for a bit at least.
But with Kent, there are always going to be links back to coming to England and us, because it just won't go away. There's kind of an unwritten, unsaid assumption that he's going to go there to... Is it Fenerbahce he's been at or whatever? He'll come back and he'll finally link up with Leeds. He'll get his long rumoured move.
Where's the Adama Traore? Let's have a late link with him.
Didn't he end up at... Was it at Fulham? Went to Fulham, Traore?
Yeah, I think they signed him. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, there we go. That's essentially the state of the transfer window. Still moving, isn't it?
Just going through all this now, I will be relieved once it's over. Like, if we get a couple of midfielders, let's just show up about it for 6 months. It will feel like a blessed relief where you can just concentrate on the football.
And a left back. Still
Just
buy a left back.
We're not going to get a left back, are we?
Get a left back.
There's the stuff coming out that Farke has been impressed with Firpo.
Great.
But do you know what Farke's not done?
He's not
Firpo play.
He's not waited a couple of weeks until he gets his next injury.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If he potentially can cut it at this level in a side where he mainly just has to attack. He might be all right at this level, but he just is never ever fit.
People talk about Firpo as if he's this brilliant marauding offensive left back, and he's not, is he? He just can't defend.
It's because there's a YouTube video of him once pocketing Mbappe.
I feel, I know it's really harsh to say, but I know people are like, he might be all right at Championship, but I just don't even want to find out anymore. I'm just fed up of him. I know it sounds really harsh, but just sign a left back.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Yeah, and we are now 21 matches without a clean sheet. Another fact from Johnny. The worst run since May 2004, which was also 21 games. And we haven't had a longer run without a shutout since 1947, which was 38 games in a row. So there's still a way to go to beat that particular record. But it does go to show that you can understand why there have been so many tweaks to the defence. And hopefully that's coming. I mean, if we do score 4 every game, as you said, Michael, that'd be fine, wouldn't it? But sign left back. Just sign left back.
I mean, we're getting rid of Leo Helder, aren't we? If those rumours are to be believed. So that's another left back out.
Yeah.
Admittedly.
Maybe they'll surprise us.
It's not gone well for him.
Maybe they'll just surprise us.
Who are we getting?
Charlie Taylor.
Apparently he played well for Burnley last night.
Not Charlie
Which is
Taylor.
annoying. I was just checking Twitter before we started to see if there was any sort of rumours.
Tom Pearce.
We've conceded the first goal in our last 7 games in all competitions.
Yeah.
That's another fact for you.
It's tiring, isn't it?
Most recently conceding first in 8 games in a row in January, February 2020, which is when we broke Luke Ayling, the Forest away game. And he was very sad. But it went okay from there, didn't it?
That was Kiko's last stand, wasn't it? Where he was just throwing the ball in the net every game.
And finally, so Saturday's game against Wednesday will be the first time Leeds are facing a side who have lost their first 4 league games of the season since 97-98 when we faced Villa. Do you know what happened there?
Go on.
We lost 1-0. So looking forward to Sheffield Wednesday. And presumably, I'm the same as you. I was going to say presumably some new signings to be interested in. I'm the same as you, Robert. I sent Phil a message yesterday. We were just chatting about the transfer window. I said, I've never been so simultaneously hooked on the transfer window, but also wanted it over as much as this one has just dragged on, and it's been stressful and tiring.
Like, it can be fun and exciting. Like when Pirro rocked up, that was good. But, just get it over and done with now.
Well, a hasty update now then, gentlemen, for the transfer situation. And we could just call this bit Blokes Reading Twitter.
We've been downstairs, haven't we? Just to be clear, we've been kitting out a new studio. It's been a very exciting period looking at a building site. We've come back.
That drilling that we've heard on the recent shows has been them building the offices downstairs, one of which we're moving into. So we say, put a rod there, put a plug in there, come back. It's all gone mad. It's all gone mad, hasn't it?
That's what it took to actually sign Glenn Kamara, it seems.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not confirmed yet, is it? It's got a here we go from Fabrizio.
Yes, and Phil has quote tweeted somebody saying, some say that Leeds' initial approach for Kamara is actually depicted in the Bayo tapestry, which I like, which was LUFC 1919 ER.
I think for his own sake, just let him join. Crying out loud, the poor boy.
So when you're listening to this tomorrow and you already know he's failed his medical, have a good laugh at us, but it appears he's signed.
Turns out he only had like one leg or something like that.
He seems like a decent signing, doesn't he?
Yep.
Good, and he's a midfielder, and we need some.
Need all of those. Mm-hmm.
So, can he play left back?
We'll find out.
Just sign a left back. Just sign a left back. Just do it.
The Yorkshire Post clickbait headline is saying we've let a cultured midfielder go. Do you know who that is?
Sam Greenwood.
Sam Greenwood, indeed.
Wow.
I've always thought he was a cultured midfielder.
Have you seen the one about Darko JB? So Graham is tweeting saying that we've rejected a bid for Darko JB from Valencia. This looks like it's like Valencia, but with a French word attached to the end. Valenciennes. Who are majority owned by Southampton's ownership group. The Whites are open to loan offers, however. And then further back down. I told you this was Blokes Just Reading Twitter. Phil is saying, as per Fabrizio, that Leeds and Rangers have agreed a deal for Glenn Kamara, and he's on his way to Leeds for medical tests.
The Daily Mail are also saying we try to sign a winger from Roma.
Okay.
Forgotten his name already, but
Solbakken, was it?
yeah, something like that. Let's go with that. £4 million apparently.
And Sam Greenwood off to Middlesbrough on loan has been announced now. So that's nice and new for you, isn't it? Lots of Championship interest in Cody Drame. Birmingham fancy it. Season-long loan, looking likely. And the loan would take Drame to the end of his contract, as Phil is saying. So he ain't going to be extending by the looks of it. So, and confirmed now.
What's the point of loaning him out at this stage? Why can't we sell him?
Did you see him the other day?
Yeah.
Someone will pay for him, surely. Can't we get 10 quid?
We sort of messed up there, haven't we? We should have sold him at the start of the summer when like Luton would have probably bought him.
It's the Robin Koch deal, isn't it?
Yeah, and Lewis O'Brien is now confirmed as on loan to Middlesbrough.
I think we should get Solbakken.
Yeah, do you like him? I think he's
don't
good.
know. I just feel like we need a Norwegian.
Fair enough.
And Hjelder's probably on his way out, so
Yeah.
it's nice. It's nice to have Norwegian interest in Leeds, I always think.
So that's your little transfer update. There could be stuff happening in between that bit getting recorded, this bit, and it getting released. So that's exciting, isn't it?
Maybe even during the next section we'll come in with some fresh news, but it won't be fresh because you'll be listening to it tomorrow.
We can read Twitter again later, I guess.
And we should add as well, I didn't mention that Ilya Gruever, we mentioned there in that bit, is booked for a medical also, who has already arrived from Germany.
I heard they're going to make him and Kamara fight, and whoever wins gets to sign.
Fight to the death. Like dangling a shirt in front of the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, interesting. Who's your money on?
Kamara.
Right.
Bit older, more experienced.
Good to fight dirtier.
Yeah.
Knows a few tricks.
Been living in Glasgow.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair point. I'll go Griev anyway, just to keep it interesting.
Okay.
We'll see who takes the shirt. Yeah.
The Square Ball Podcast.